like maybe Gunnar was sick. My dad then responded and said maybe his girlfriend broke up with him. And then Kim then responded by saying
Maybe a cow died or something. I don't
that's what
know.
Kim that was Kim's joke. Kim said maybe something happened to one of his cows.
Something happened to one of his cows.
Welcome to My God a Podcast. I'm Jim Wood. In this episode, John Powell and I review Georgia's 16-9 win over Georgia Tech in the Benz. We talk about our experiences on Saturday and what stood out to us during the game. As always, remember to check out the newly redesigned MyGottaPodcast.com to see our latest merch. And you can follow us on social media at MyGottaPodcast. Finally, if you need help with your website or your online presence, head over to workingwebmedia.com/dogs. Now, let's join the conversation in progress.
Just as we predicted.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
Clean old fashioned hate, man.
Hey, you know what? We talked about it on the preview episode that you never know what these rivalry games on what version of the team is going to show up, or you know
Yep.
anything of that regard. Any given Saturday, the in-state rivalry can boil over into a number of different things.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, in this case, the offensive windfall that I thought that we were going to experience was definitely not there. And I think there's a lot wrapped up in that, and I guess that we can kind of get into that here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, the way the game started with us running the ball, I was like, oh, yeah, like, felt like we'd be able to run on them. We could. Thought we would be able to pass on them, too. Obviously, we could not. Um, but yeah, I guess that was my first half frustration was, like, like 51-7 GATA keeps asking, like, how many times do you run the toss sweep? Like until they stop it kind of thing. It wasn't a toss sweep. This one, it was just like the handoff of the gut. It was like they couldn't stop it in the first half. And I was just like, I was literally run the dang ball, Bobo. Did you see the woman in the stands with the run the dang ball hat on? That was
Yeah. I saw that. It's like, geez,
so anyways, I don't know. It was weird.
it is definitely weird. I think that if you look at the stat line, if you look at the team stats, like you just look straight up and down the team stats, it's like good grief, like e- uh, everything is so even. Like we flip flop on we flip flop on passing and rushing yards, but like on paper, was so much. I mean, we were so even across everything. The only exception being that with us rushing so much more than they did, we had a lot more rushing attempts. We had a little bit, we had a slight advantage on the yards per rush, which I feel like is probably the story of the game, is that we had the ball for 10 more minutes than they did.
100%. Yes. I mean, that was the difference. We played ball control. I mean, we played keep away, basically. Keep away from that offense. And then when their offense did have the ball, our defense didn't let them in the end zone, you know? I mean,
Yeah, didn't allow them at all. Like this was definitely a game like 16-9. Like what?
it
What is happening? What is
was so
happening?
weird. Well, especially with the way both of these offenses have been playing, you know? Like, it was uncharacteristic for both of them. I think, like, in the whole, like, if I had told you kind of talking points, right? Like, I feel like I could have believed that Georgia's defense would slow down the Tech offense. I'm very surprised they slowed down our offense the way they did with their defense.
Yeah,
I was not expecting that.
if I told you before the game that we would have 70 passing yards,
Oh my
what do you think the score was going to be?
god. Wow. Yeah. I don't know. The flip side is if you told me Nate Frazier had like what did he have, like 98 rushing yards at halftime or something like that? Like,
I don't know, something. He ended up with 108 yards rushing.
but, yes. At some point we need to talk about what happened in the second half specifically. But honestly, that was my thing. Is like, how does he have almost 100 in the first and 10 yards in the second half? That was interesting. I'll say
Yeah,
it that way.
there's a lot interesting about this game. Like it doesn't make sense. So Graham posted about this. Graham posted about this, and I speculated in the chat a few times that I there were multiple plays where it felt as though Georgia Tech knew what we were doing.
Hmm.
And I don't know if that's like they intercepted signals or like they read into some tells that we have on offense or something along those lines, but I'll use a specific example. There was the play, I believe it was it a fourth down play when we ran Cash Jones and he like nosedived basically right on the yard to gain. And they did
Yes.
a that was where we had the amazing like ACC play review where Georgia Tech called a timeout to challenge the spot basically.
Yeah.
And we had a window inside of what it's like in the ACC where you have full transparency into the review process.
That was amazing, by the way.
Yeah,
It was
good
incredible.
job, good job, ACC. Um, but so on that play, if you go back and watch that play, we line up and it's like their defensive end, like I feel like he pointed, but like I feel like that they knew what was coming. So players shifted over and they had numbers to that side of the play. It was actually kind of a miracle that we got the first down, but it was very clear like that they shifted everything over because they knew where the play was going. And I don't know. I don't know if that's just like luck of the draw, like they just made a great call on a great time and we just happened to out execute them just slightly enough to get the first down there. But there were multiple plays like that where it felt like that they knew exactly what was going on.
Okay, so two things on that. One, if you're saying it was a miracle, I can't confirm if this was what it was, but I'm not gonna not say that. My sister actually lit a candle before that play to help us
Nice.
gain the first down, and we did. So again, not saying that was it, but not saying that.
Is this
Um,
is this like when the Mexican grandmas, the abuelitas, they light the
they
candle?
light the candle. Basically, Lily actually took a picture of my sister. She was like kneeling on the ground, like holding the candle up, and Cash Jones got the first down. So that definitely happened. I will say though, the other thing is, I mean, there's a lot of crossover between these two teams, right? So you've got Buster Faulkner was on staff. Um, he was an analyst under Munkin here. A lot of the concepts and offensive stuff is still left over from that. I mean, he worked with Bobo back then as well. And the other thing is they've got all these. I mean, there are multiple transfers that Tech has. They played at Georgia, so I don't know. I guess it's possible. I guess you would maybe think things have changed enough since then to prevent those guys knowing anything, but I don't know. Who knows? I guess it's possible.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It just you're telling me that the Georgia offense that has been operating so efficiently on a quarterback that's been completing 70% of his passes against some of the best teams in the country, all of a sudden we come up against one of the worst defenses in the country that's been giving up over 300 yards passing the last several weeks. And you're telling me that they came in and were able to shut Gunnar Stockton down to 70 yards passing? Like it just does not compute.
Yeah, I I will say Gunner. I mean, I don't know. I don't. I guess I don't know how much of it is their defense versus how much of it was him. Like he looked off. He looked uncomfortable. Like really the whole game. I mean, like even from the start, he just looked a little off. I kept waiting for him to like just turn that corner or whatever, and it never really happened. To the point where I mean, when the game ended, I looked at my dad and I was like, "Was he sick? Like maybe Gunner was sick." My dad then responded and said maybe his girlfriend broke up with him. And then Kim then
Maybe
responded by
maybe
saying
maybe he cow died or something. I don't
that's what
know.
Kim that was Kim's joke. Kim said maybe something happened to one of his cows.
Something happened to one of his cows.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. He was definitely off.
Yeah, he was definitely off. I tell you who was not off though,
Hmm.
our kicker.
Oh, dude, absolutely. I actually had that written down that Peyton Woodring was the MVP of this game.
Payday. It was a payday multiple times.
Yeah,
MVP of the game. Like just I can't stress enough like how quietly he has had such an elite season.
career at this point,
Well, yeah,
right?
career.
I mean, I saw this on the internet, so it must be true, and I'm gonna apologize because I can't remember who posted it. But it was like as of right now, he actually has like the highest like field goal kicking accuracy percentage in the history of the SEC.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
How have we not seen this graphic from ESPN?
Yeah. I don't know.
Although I guess moving forward, I'd rather they not show any graphics like that because hashtag like announcers curse.
True. Yeah. That's how it's been able to go on so long because they're not talking about it.
Yeah, seriously, nobody's talking about it. Forget I said anything, ESPN.
Yeah. Don't listen.
But yeah, dude, we were talking about this on the podcast before the podcast, but according to the win probability, which the nerds apparently have a really tough time understanding win probabilities because, I mean, basically this game was over with 4 minutes left in the first quarter, according to ESPN, because that is the lowest win probability that we had in the entirety of the game when it was 0-0. We had a 78% win probability at that point, and it only went up from there. Um, yeah, I think that when we were talking about this, like basically with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in the second quarter, when UGA was up 10-0, our win probability was 91%, and it didn't drop below that the remainder of the game, which is just absolutely wild to me.
Yeah, that feels wrong. I don't know how else to say it. Like it definitely didn't feel like at 99.9% or whatever it's saying there when they were throwing a Hail Mary, with a second left. I mean I guess it was or whatever, but they don't like they didn't go away. They kind of kept plugging along and I mean obviously
I
we
mean,
said
we
payday the MVP, but also like that one touchdown. I mean, that's literally the difference of the game. We got we got one touchdown, they got none. I mean,
yeah, we were correct about one thing. Haynes King was the Georgia Tech.
yeah, absolutely. He's the kid's good, man. He's good.
He
We
is good.
we
He had
did a
himself a ball game.
he did, and I thought that we did a pretty good job of stopping his run game. Like that
Oh
was
yeah,
impressive. That was
yeah,
impressive.
yeah. If you told me before the game that we would hold Haynes King to 39 yards, which I believe that was an over under that I got destroyed on, but um, the yeah, I would have taken that. I would have said, yeah, we win that game all day long.
Yeah. Welcome back, CJ Allen. On that note.
Yeah,
I didn't think he would play. I didn't think he would play, and if he played, I thought he would play like some. I mean, dude started and just played a normal game. Like that was, I was not expecting that.
agreed. I think that yeah, I think this was definitely a continuation of a trend, an upward trend of the UGA defense stepping up when it was needed and the offense was not getting things done. I'd still like the conspiracy theory inside of me is that
Mm.
at some point, at some point, Georgia's coaches realized that they were getting hosed in some way, shape, or form. That Georgia Tech just knew what was coming from an offense standpoint, and they just decided to just pack it in and not and just shut this thing down because they realized that they weren't going to get scored on.
Yeah, I mean, we totally shut it down in the second half. I mean, um, we didn't really try to do much of anything. I mean, we took a couple of shots. The shot plays didn't really work. Oh, I don't know. I guess the shot plays we took were more so in the first half. Um, honestly, I can't remember if we even really tried that in the second half. Um, when we started calling the plays where it was like the Gunner Stockton just quarterback sweep to the side, that's when I was kind of like, I feel like we've thrown the game plan out the window at this point. And that was like late in the first half when that started happening. It would be like 3rd and 10, and it would just be like Gunner like quarterback sweep to the right, and he would get like 8 yards, but then we'd punt. I don't know. The offense just felt off. Like I said, I felt like we were running kind of at will early, and we were keeping balance for balance sake, is what I felt like. I mean, I know you can't like do the same thing over and over and over again, but I mean, I don't know, man. It seemed like it worked every time. Every time we ran Nate Frazier up the middle in the first half, it worked. And he was like 9 yards a carry, I think, in the first half. And then we would go away from it, and it wouldn't work. And then, opening drive of the second half, it was like pass, 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 punt. Like, what are we doing? It was like, it
We
was
we
like,
went away from what was working.
exactly. And it was like we were. It was like the thought process was like, well, they think we're gonna run it, so we're gonna pass it or something. I don't know. It was.
You
It
run the
was.
ball to open up the pass, Jim.
Yeah. So
It definitely was a. I'm surprised that I didn't hear more from Craig because this was the perfect Bobo game. It feels like it was tailor made for Bobo haters, which I was
yeah.
definitely like kind of in their corner because it was just like what is going on. But like I said, my putting on my tinfoil hat is just saying that I think that we just kept things as plain Jane as possible just to win the game. It's almost like the perfect Kirby Smart game. Like, all right, we got enough points here, guys. Let's just shut it down.
It was. I I think the frustrating thing was like how many tweets were there? I saw many, and I know there were texts going around as well. It's like, all right, well, I guess we're just gonna have to we're just gonna death march it, and then the game will end. It's like, but we kept having to punt. It's like the death
Yeah.
march never really happened. So
I
I
don't
guess that
know.
was
I guess it kind of happened. Like we marched down the field. Maybe we didn't score, maybe we didn't whatever, but like you said, we played keep away.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We didn't end with the ball in our hand though. I'll say that we didn't get into victory formation,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
but
Uh,
yeah.
we did throw a tight end out there to bat a pass down, which I thought was amazing.
Whew, man, that was like a major
Jaden
upgrade
Jaden
from
Riddell, right?
it was Jaden Riddell. That was such an upgrade from the Tennessee Hail Mary in 2016, where I mean it wasn't a tight end, but what we put like Lorenzo Carter back there, I think. Um, this was much more well executed. I was yelling at the TV. I was like, "Do not rush three! Do not rush three!" And I don't think we did. Um, but yeah, I mean, huge sigh of relief when that ball got batted down. I don't know about you. Like I was kind of freaking out.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know, like, if any of you guys, heard, like, I haven't seen this, but like, I wonder why Jaden Riddell was, like, why was he the spike man? Like, does he have like a closet volleyball experience? Like, what's going on?
Mm, mm. Good question. Good question. I just
Like,
assume it's
why was it
because he's
him? Because
tall.
he's not the tallest player on the team.
Yeah, I do know they said that that's how they practice it. Is like he is the one that they put back. So, but yeah, but as
Yeah,
far as the why, I don't know.
yeah, maybe he's got the highest vertical or something like that.
Yeah.
Because
I guess
you'd
I have
think
a.
like I think isn't Ellis isn't El, Elias Williams isn't he like yeah he's like 6'7", 6'7".
Sorry. This is see the only way we're gonna get the kids to stop it is if we keep doing it until they stop it. Just to point that out.
Yeah.
Um,
Which, by the
I
way, if you haven't watched Home Alone with your kids, you should totally do that because it's like so automatic. They say 6'7" like so many times.
That's funny. We said that like a million times over Thanksgiving. um, my guess there though is Williams is a freshman, and Riddell's been here a couple of years. I don't know.
Right, right. Hey,
That's my best guess.
fair enough. I like it.
I I guess a couple other nitpicky things, and I don't want to just nitpick the whole time, but on the offense, again, the first half. So one thing that again was just like the whole it was off, and it kind of felt like some things went back to how they were earlier in the year with Gunner. You know, early in the year, I think our complaint was there would be someone open downfield and he would run. He would miss the person who was open and take off, and I feel like that kind of stopped at some point and he was making the correct decisions there on the last drive of the first half. It was actually in the play where we got a first down because Cash Jones took illegal hands to the face on that
Hmm.
play. Dylan Bell was wide open in the end zone. So we had two receivers to the right. You had Dylan Bell, and I think it was Lucky out to the right. Lucky ran a post, and Bell ran some sort of like go route kind of deal. And basically, the safety went with Lucky, and no one covered Bell. So once Lucky broke off, Bell was just streaking down the right sideline, and Gunner just, I know he never. It seemed like he was looking that way. Again, I'm saying this from like watching the replay where they were showing that Cash, had hands to his face. So not really sure, but that was interesting. Like because Gunner, he, I think felt pressure, took off to run.
That
That
happened a couple of times, I feel like, because there was another play where he ended up running for 3 or 4 yards, but like right before he was running, he was literally staring at, I think it was Nate Frazier, where he could have dumped, like he had a dump off, like
Yeah.
right in front of his face, and he chose not to, and instead like ran it and took another hit and went to the ground, and you know, I think that Nate Frazier probably could have made more of that play than he did, but
Yeah.
I don't know. You're right. Like it kind of goes to the whole theme of the day. Like maybe he just had like a tryptophan hangover or something along those lines from Thanksgiving because uh, I'm sure that he has a very large gathering of folks for Thanksgiving, but I don't know. Something was definitely off, but like I said, I think I chalk it up to like we got enough points. We can win this game. We're gonna pack it in as was the approach and just make it as vanilla as possible in the second half and not even like
Yeah.
give anyone any more film, give anyone any more like opportunities for injury. Let's just play the safe plays and just go.
Yeah.
Losing Drew Bobo was probably a not helping any of this situation in terms of like our ability to be creative because as soon as he went down, it was very clear that in the second half, like you said, like you kind of wonder why we stopped running the ball. Well, I can't remember when Bobo went down, but I feel like it was before then, right?
It was. So he was, and also I have not heard specific details about this, but he left and then he came back. So he was out for, say, the second to last drive of the first half, and then he was back in on the last drive, from what I recall. Um, and then in the second half, he never came back out. That's how I remember it. I could be wrong. It's an extra day since the game, John. As opposed to when we usually record with the Friday game. But that's how I remember it. Man, also, I don't know what was going on with the clock management at the end of the first half, but
Mm,
like you can't take the timeouts with you, kind of thing.
Kirby he loves to save those timeouts for some
Man,
reason.
he does. I don't know about you. That was my other yelling at the TV moment.
I yelled at the TV for them to call a timeout on a third down, and I think that Georgia Tech ended up taking the timeout for us because I felt like that Gunner took a hit and he was kind of getting up really groggy, like he got up kind of slow
Mm,
on one of the hits, and I think it was on our touchdown drive. I want to say it was on that same drive where he got kind of knocked over, and I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, he's getting up really slow, and the play clock was running. And it was like I just kind of looked at it. And, I just kind of said to myself, like, "Oh my gosh, just call timeout. Like it's third down. Like let's like we don't have to rush this."
yeah, yeah. Yeah, there definitely was one, if not two times where they called timeout that I felt seemed kind of weird.
Why are you calling a timeout?
Yeah. Which their challenge, dude, their challenge helped us big time because then they lost the timeout because of that they needed late.
Right.
So that was helpful.
hmm But yeah,
Um,
I think that something was definitely fishy going on because I, even in our worst game, I guess you call this a clunker, win your clunkers.
yeah,
Even though it didn't feel like a clunker, like necessarily in the first half, like I thought we were going to run away with the game.
yeah. When we scored the touchdown to go up 10-0, which by the way, Zachariah Branch still just holy cow, he's so amazing.
He does Zachariah Branch things.
I mean that the cut he made there, he just made the defender didn't have a shot to get
This
it.
is this is one of the best recruiting seasons, I think, for why you don't leave
Hmm.
the University of Georgia if you're an elite level wide receiver. Like the whole narrative is like, oh my gosh, Georgia, they just pass to the tight ends and all this kind of stuff. But like, no, no, we pass to the elite players.
Yeah. And we pass to the players who have earned it, right? And are getting that spot. I mean, early on there was the whole where's Noah Thomas, where's Noah Thomas? And then, you know, Kobe Young goes down, Noah Thomas next man up, and now he leads the team in touchdown catches, I think. Or he was going into that game. Like, you earn your way onto the field and you get a chance to showcase your talent. So
Yeah, which by the way, you talked about shot plays. There was a shot play at some point, I want to say it was in the first half, where we took a deep shot to Noah Thomas, and he was getting absolutely held the entire time, and they didn't call pass interference, and that would have extended the drive. And even the announcers were like, Georgia fans are booing, and I think they've got a right to be. And it was like, And then they showed the replay, and the guy was holding him the entire time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that one. There was one where I lost it when they threw a flag on us for pass interference, but it was the one where they picked up the flag. If you remember that,
Yes.
where it was, I was like, the ball was in the stands. Like, what are we doing? And they picked it
There is no pass interference. Yeah. Dylan Bell had an amazing circus catch that didn't count because
Mm,
Gunner overthrew it.
yeah, where he was like just like one step out, right?
Yeah, he was like one step out of bounds. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And he
I
almost had
guess.
another catch too, but the Georgia Tech guy had his arm between the ball and him, and when they fell down, like it kind of like dislodged the ball, so they called it incomplete.
I mean, frankly, like not many people had catches for us in the game, just in general.
Right.
Uh,
Well, what I will say is like the Georgia Tech towards the end of the game, which you can kind of see on their their scoring summary or whatever, they scored more points. They outscored us in the second half.
hmm.
Um, they started doing things that we weren't doing. At one point, I was like, "Oh wow, imagine take a look at that!" Like they moved the pocket, and now they can actually like make some passes and throws and stuff. We didn't try any of that. Like we weren't moving the pocket, we weren't doing anything.
No, we didn't. I'm totally with you. Like we tried the I don't the game plan looked different than usual too in general. Like you're saying, we didn't try to move the pocket. We didn't throw as many of like the screen left, screen right stuff either. You know, like there's usually at least like five screens to branch. um, we didn't really do that. Even the touchdown pass to him was, I mean, I think he had the first down when he caught it. And he cut up field and got the touchdown. So it felt that was my like run the dang Bobo comments were like, I think I texted you and coach and said like, I don't want to see anything other than a Nate Frazier run at the middle or a screen to Zachariah Branch. Like that's all. Like just do that. That was in the first half though, before everything kind of fell apart in the second. Um, but yeah, I'm with you. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, very, very, very strange game.
So what was it 6 to
Uh,
3 them in the second half? Is that right?
hmm
Yeah. Hmm. Very odd.
Very, very strange, Jim.
But hey, man,
We definitely didn't like lose. Well, I guess technically we lost the middle eight or whatever. Um, because we didn't get the good score at the end of the half, right?
we did get a field goal at the end of the half. So I
Okay.
think technically we won the middle eight 3-0.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
but but yeah, it's not yeah. Score kick a field goal before half and then go 3 and out to start the second half is not the that's not the what
That
you
does
want to
not
do
spark
there.
joy.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you, man. You kick that field goal, it's 13-3. We had the ball to start the half. You're thinking we score a touchdown here, we're up 20-3 or whatever, and was not in the cards.
Was not in the cards.
That Cash Jones fourth down conversion though that we talked about a while ago, like I mean that was a huge play that got us the like that extended that drive. That was our last scoring drive. I mean it was our only scoring drive of the second half. That was that drive that when Cash got that first down with the run up the middle.
Yep. It's definitely it was a weird game. It's
It
definitely
was.
not. It didn't feel. It felt hate. It definitely felt Haiti, but it didn't feel clean, old fashioned Haiti.
Yeah. I don't know if that was the Invesco QQQ stuff going on or what.
There we go. It's because it was the first game that we played in the bins against
Yeah.
Georgia Tech. So
Yeah. I I have to admit something. These are the kinds of things that like the bad things that run through my head that I don't want to say in the podcast. I had this whole like fear that we were going to lose to them because like we always say like like we haven't lost at Tech since 1999, and it's like oh but this one isn't at Tech like that was and then the fact that like the last two times we got to seven in a row, we lost on the eighth try. However, and I talked about this with Lily like before the game. I was like, like the last two times that happened, the when we were going for the eighth victory, it was in Athens. So this was that first time we were going for the eighth in a row, not in Athens. And I want to hover on that a minute. I mean, that was the thing they could always say to us, right? Was that they had that 8 game winning streak over us that we referred to as the drought. We had never done that, and now they can't hold that over us anymore. So now we've tied the longest win streak in this rivalry at 8. We've now we can say we've done that too, and 1999 me cannot comprehend that.
Do we need to print the shirts that say "Fear the Pinky and the Thumb"?
Yeah. Seriously, we could do that. And I will also add there is now a Christmas tree in our house. So it's up.
We can have Christmas. It's fine.
Um,
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, nothing to say other than flush it and move on. Like win the game, move on. Like there's 100% guarantee that we're going to make the CFP, so we will survive in advance, even despite what may happen in the SEC championship game. Which, Jim, I'm not looking forward to that preview because I think I think I had sworn off this matchup the
this game,
last time after the
yeah.
last time. So from not looking forward to it, Jim. Not looking forward to that one.
How crazy was that though? That like we end that day with we're going to the SEC championship on Friday, on
Just when
Black
I
Friday.
thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
And also, just so everyone else knows, John, you did blame me in a text thread for that
I do,
happening
I
because I
do
picked
blame you.
Texas to win.
I
Sorry.
do blame you.
I mean, that was just as I predicted, for what it's worth.
Yeah. Apparently, A&M is more fraudulent than I realized. Um, let's just hope that the other teams that are above them, uh, namely like the Indianas of the world, that are just as fraudulent.
Something about those rivalry games, man. Those three in the SEC. Um, I guess the Egg Bowl, I guess, wasn't quite as close on Friday, but between clean old fashioned hate, whatever the Texas A&M at Lone Star or something, and the Iron Bowl. I mean,
That
those
sounds
games
about
were all wild. The Iron Bowl was wild
right.
too.
Iron Bowl was wild. At one point, I was like, "Oh my gosh, we're gonna play Ole Miss, and there's gonna be no coach."
I know that was the point where I was like, well, shoot, just go ahead and have that happen. I was definitely pulling for that. I mean, you get to that, you've got Alabama's out of the playoff and play a team with no coach, which is what would happen.
It's one of those like butterfly effects, right? Like if Lane Kiffin, if Alabama were to have lost that game, do you think that Lane Kiffin is actually allowed to coach beyond what happened this weekend? You know what I mean? Like, is he allowed to coach beyond the Egg Bowl at all?
Um, I still think no, because
You still think no?
I mean, as much as he was saying like I haven't made up my mind yet, I mean, and this is not inside sources. This is like what I've been reading on Twitter. It definitely sounds like he knew. Um, I saw some report that LSU believed they had an agreement from him like
Hmm.
last week at some point. Um, I think it was all like he was. I mean, it sounds like he was trying to leverage stuff to stay. So who knows? Maybe that would have worked if they were playing in the SEC championship. But
Yeah, because now you're talking about like you have less time to decide on a situation. And I mean, when was the last time Ole Miss was in the SEC championship? I don't know. Have they ever played for the SEC championship?
I don't think so. I mean, that game's only been around since '92
Right.
or '90, whatever.
Like they would have had something. They would have had a chance to do something that had never been done in the program's history. So like, would Ole Miss had been would Ole Miss had been like a little bit more acquiescing, I guess, for lack of a better description. But
Yeah.
when you're asking for, hey, can I coach through the CFP? Now you're talking like weeks.
Yeah, weeks. I mean, and by the way, like signing day is this week too. That's where this whole thing goes so complicated because you're coaching this team, but I'm imagining you're recruiting for your recruiting class for your new school. So I
Hmm.
mean, I don't have any issues with Ole Miss saying like thanks but no thanks. You know, too much going on right now. Which
Yeah,
I think that's a whole other conversation. It's kind of like what we talked about with Andrew Carraway when we had him on this past offseason around the calendar. Like this right here, I think is the perfect example of why having this signing day at this time of year is bad. I mean, you got Kiffin. I mean, there's a chance we end up with like three schools in the playoff with either, I don't know if these other coaches are leaving right away or not, but like Tulane, if Tulane makes it in, um, their coach has gone to Florida. I Yeah, he's gone to Florida. Um, I saw today the JMU coach, like he's going somewhere too. Like
well,
how many how many
I
playoff
saw
teams are going to end
earlier.
up with that don't have their coach?
I saw earlier BYU's coach is apparently emerged as a top prospect for the Penn State job.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, man. Like it's a bad look for college football if we've got these teams that are in the playoff without their coach, and the fact that it happened at an SEC school is you know you we when we say like it just means more and all that kind of stuff. I feel like that kind of takes a bit of a blow when you've got a coach leaving from one school to another with the first ever 11 win regular season, you know, in the program's history, and then he's gone is kind of weird.
Yeah, agreed. I don't know what the answer is because I think what isn't the flip side of that like what happens to the recruiting period?
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, we used to have. I think the issue is the whole graduating high school early, you know, and they used to be able to figure that out.
You
I
think so?
also just
I
want
think they'd be able to
signing
figure
day to
out
go.
something.
Yeah, I also just want signing day to go back to February before, so we can and use fax machines and go to the blind pig and we
Just bring back the fax machines,
bring back
please.
the ceremonial fax machine. But yeah. Anyways, off the rails. Um, let's hit a quick recap for Coach. Let's see. I uh, extended my lead ever so slightly in coaches over unders this week. I went 5-3. You went 4-4, and then I believe we are all tied up in the pick'em games. Um, I had a good week in the picks that the Texas thing came through, and I think you had Tennessee. I think that was the other difference. Um, so shout out, Coach. Thanks for checking them and send them over. Like I always say, always a great feeling when we get the text from Coach with the updates.
Is it, Jim? Is it?
No, sorry, it was for me
Maybe
this
for
week.
you.
It was glorious this
lately,
week.
lately. Thank you,
uh,
Coach. I
oh
kid. I
man.
kid.
Um, yeah. I
Well,
I guess I guess
thanks. Thanks to Jim, we have. Thanks to Jim, we have an SEC championship to talk about.
I and we can get into this obviously when we preview that game, but we've already previewed them once, so I don't know how much there is to talk about, like what to look for, because I think we kind of know it based on the first game. But maybe we can talk a little bit about the whole do you want to be in the SEC championship? I think we should review Kirby's remarks post game. I thought that was pretty interesting. Um, those kinds of things. Maybe a little playoff talk or something. Like, will Vanderbilt get in? These are the burning questions.
I'm sure we'll have lots of conversations about all of it. Even the lousy stinking red elephants.
Hmm. Hmm.
All right, Jim. Well, it's another clean old fashioned hate in the books. Another Thanksgiving. Looked like you guys had a good time at Fripp. Um, and we will be back tomorrow. Well, as of today, we'll be there tomorrow to record for the SEC championship this weekend.
Yes, sir.
And game day is going to be in town, so we're going to talk through it all and go dogs.
Go dogs.